everyone, I am back, and in today's lesson on perming, we are going to be talking about end papers. So one of the questions I've gotten from a lot of people is, do I have to use end papers when I perm? And the quickest answer, yes, 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 1000% yes you do. If you do not use end papers, you will have a perming fail. On some of the previous videos I've seen of people failing at a perm or doing a perm and they have no experience or they haven't researched it, they did not do it properly with the end papers. Instead, they just took their hair and they were using either a perm rod or a flexi rod and they just kind of lumped it together and tried to wrap it. If you do that with a perm, what's going to happen is when your cuticle swells and opens, your ends are going to fry because the end paper adds protection to your ends. And another thing is you're not going to get a curl, because if you're going like this and your ends are hanging out there and they're permed and chemically burned up, they're going to go limp, so the rest of your curl's going to go limp with that. So end papers, they serve the purpose of helping to wind the hair evenly on the rod and protect the hair. And it does help too with the porosity because they do protect your hair and buffer it against the chemical. So generally the end papers are all pretty much the same. The only thing that's different with end papers is that the way you wrap with them. The most common and the most safe way to wrap with end papers is the double flat wrap, where you take the two end papers, and I'll show you on my hair an example. You would take two end papers, sandwich them like so, and then you would roll the perm rod up like that, making sure they're in there. The other method, which is really good for short hair, because on short hair you have the option of either cutting the end paper, or what I like to do is you just bookend it. So you just fold it over like so. You can do that way or the other way. Just be careful that when you're doing end papers with the bookend, that you don't just smush all the hair in there. You want it to be even, because this, with the end papers, the double flat wrap gives it the most availability to swell. So if your ends are swelling, they have protection. If you do the double flat wrap on short hair, it still will swell about the same. But if you have long hair, I really don't recommend the bookend. I always recommend the double flat wrap to be safer, and that way you maximize the ability for the hair to be less damaged, because when you're doing perms and you're not considerate with end papers, you're not going to get a good result. The other option, which I've never done, but it is talked about in the book, is the single flat wrap. And that's pretty much when you put the hair down on the rod and you sandwich the paper over it and you wrap. I personally never have done it, nor will I ever, because doing that you get the least amount of swelling and you might get frizzy ends or not an even curl. So always really stick with the double flat wrap. That's the safest way to do a perm. And the end papers, other companies have their own. They really all work the same. So that is end papers. They are just papers that are used to help you wrap the perm. And if you're wrapping with flexi rods, there's different ways to do it. You can band-aid it. So if you notice you're wrapping and some of the ends are sticking out and you're wrapping a spiral perm, you can take an end paper and just sandwich it over and just do like a second one, and that keeps the end paper stuck down. You also want to do, when you're doing end papers, get a spray bottle, and when you have the hair in there, spray it, and it helps it adhere to the hair better so it doesn't wash off. Because if you're doing a spiral perm with flexi rods, rinsing can be a pain in the butt, and if you don't have the end papers fully stuck on there, they can rinse off, and that is not a good thing when that happens. So that is all there is to end papers. Like, comment, subscribe, ask me questions down below on end papers if I didn't clarify that enough, and I will see you guys soon with the next video. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the alkaline perm or the cold wave, and then I'm going to be going through the different types of perms in detail and talking about that. So I will see you guys soon, and have a wonderful day.